It's such a beautiful day for reading, so we are going to tap into the energy, see what we need to know, and if it resonates, fantastic. Let's get started. I was actually going to do my live stream tonight because tomorrow technically is the 4th of July, but I just wanted to take the night off and enjoy the beautiful evening. The weather is so perfect where I am here in Oregon, so I thought I would just come in and gift you this reading. So I hope this makes sense to you. And if you're new to my work, I'm so excited you're here. My readings can be a little bit different. I tend to go very in depth and talk about things going on your path and roadblocks you might be having, ways to overcome things, how your guides and ancestors are coming through, working in the Akashic Records, and a lot of these types of topics that I find to be very interesting. So I'm just gonna tap in, see what we need to know, and then we're gonna get started. So the first thing I'm hearing is let go. Let go of control. Let go of trying to make sense of things. Let go of trying to, they're saying, make appointments to get things done. It just seems like there's a lot of rushing energy, feeling like you're behind, almost like you're riding a bicycle and I'm just almost seeing like you're pedaling backwards, right? So in a meditation I had today with Mary Magdalene, who is I work with often, and I'll tell you more about that a little later in the video, but she really said you need to be who you are. Be who you are. It isn't so much about becoming or movement or action. Sometimes it is just about being in resonance and just gathering your strength from that. We have the flower spirit here, and notice how this young girl is holding really tightly to this branch and being close to nature, being close to the process. When we are so disconnected or we're pushing forward, we really aren't connected to the physical world and to the beauty that's all around us. And that's part of our journey, really, isn't it? That we are not alone on this planet, and that the world, the earth itself, is animated. And so learning to get support from that and be in resonance with how things are is a beautiful way to be. We're also getting the Liberty card here. And I love how she has this little bird cage hanging from her hair and she's feeding the birds, right? But the sense of liberty, that's been coming up a lot, of freedom, of expansion, of sovereignty. And how do we get to that place? How do we get to that place? We're getting abracadabra, which is very telling. My home is my castle. I love these images. They're just so fun. Abracadabra is all about, that is a word in magic. That has to do with saying I am and I create. I create and I make things happen. So when you're in alignment, when you are truly in resonance with your highest good and flowing with spirit, things begin to sort of work out, right? They do fall into place. You're not trying to push the river upstream, is what I'm getting. And you'll notice here too, she has like connected in with her astrology, with the stars and the cosmos, and then greater, the things that are the interconnection of everything in life. This is also beautiful. We're getting my home is my castle. So this is really another building of understanding that you are the altar, you are the temple, that your energy, your wisdom, everything you need actually can be found within you. It's not an external journey, it's an internal journey. And then we have Bloom, which for me is the divine feminine, right? It's the divine feminine. The reformation of the divine feminine, rising up from the earth, back when she has been disconnected and disassociated and like plagiarized and pushed down by the patriarchy. So that's going to start us out. That's a pretty good place to start. So let's continue with this journey. Let's pull out a little bit of this some more. I'm feeling really oracle-like today, a little more free-flowing. Let's see what the energy is and just where that's taking us. Again, letting go, coming into resonance, getting that guidance. I'm also feeling a lot of activity in the throat chakra. So that could be some of you really learning to express yourselves. Turning over a new leaf to be able to share more of who you are, your truth. These oracle cards are just giving me everything. Okay. So here's what I want to say. This is a wonderful energetic sort of a progression. You have the rabbit card. Actually, I was born in the year of the rabbit. But if we think about a rabbit, and I have pet rabbits too, my family does. So rabbits are extremely gentle, and they are also very adaptable to their environment because why? They're a prey animal. So they have to learn to adapt and adjust, but also protect themselves. And they do have a level of innocence. So, and then right next to it is the fire ant. The fire ant is almost the opposite, right? Of this beautiful, oh, the birds are really going right now. They're just having their song and giving us everything right now. And also, I just refilled the bird feeder with brand new yummy seeds, and I think they're loving it. So I'm loving that. Animals are just coming in all through this reading. Amazing. Feels very, that's why I was pulling these cards. I was like, it's all about what's around us in our environment. Butterfly, I'm getting like, I feel like nature is just opening up right now. This is amazing. It's beautiful. So what we have to understand, what we find with animals and in nature and how they reflect where we are, their different stages of our own development, our own growth, and where we are, right? And so knowing when you're in a place of what the rabbit is, like openness, receptivity, gentleness, maybe a little vulnerability, right? And then possibly we've got also at the same time within you, you've got the fire ant, which is I'm ready to activate, I'm ready to defend, I'm ready to protect. What would be considered probably more innocent, more tender, vulnerable. So this has to do with self-preservation. That's what I'm getting, self-preservation, okay? And then we also have the phoenix. This is transformation. And if you think about it, if you ever saw Harry Potter and you know that Professor Dumbledore had his phoenix, and that was his, right, his familiar. And in that process, he, I think his name was it Volks? He went through that process where he would go from doing that descent, really going through the most difficult, challenging things until he perished, but then rose again, right? So many of you are probably having some kind of a rebirth, a reactivation, something switching and changing, something moving forward. Again, the throat chakra, opening up, expressing yourself. And then finally for these animals, these insects, these beautiful creatures, we have the scorpion, right? We know about the scorpion. Scorpion, much like the fire ant, is defensive and strikes when needed and has a way to protect itself. So the idea here is like, don't, you can be in your most soft, most tender state, right? And where that is for you. At the same time, be prepared that you're going to need to protect yourself, because not everyone has your best interest at heart, and not everyone is going to employ the ethics that you do when you bring these, you're in your life, whether that be in relationship, whether that be in social situations, work, new opportunities. Remember, not everyone has our highest good in mind, okay? I'm going to pull now from this Akashic Records past life deck. I'm going to see if there's any, I'm just feeling that. What past life energy is coming up for us to clear? And again, anytime we get we're connected to a past life. On the multiverse, or in the multidimensionalism, there is really no time or space on an energy level. So that means there's not really a time frame. There's no such thing as time. So that means we can tap into these past lives, and and the thing we want to look at with past lives is that they are coming up for us to connect with and review. So it's twofold. First of all, part of it is that you can get abilities, you can get the experiences, you can learn from those experiences, gain wisdom, clarity, information. That's a part of it. In any given moment, you can do that. But also you can clear out some of the past from it, or the karmic energy. And that can all be done. And by the way, if you enjoy my content and you enjoy my readings, please help my channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing, and watch my videos. I do a lot of information very much like this throughout my videos. And also, if you're interested, I do a lot of private readings. So all that's linked below. Okay, let's just see what this past life energy is. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's bring out 2 cards. Okay. So we have the energetic realm between lives. Oh yeah. And the number 44 is here. Oh yeah. So I think I mentioned something to you. This is so telling about Mary Magdalene. I have so much to talk about with this. So we have devotion, spiritual practices, intuitive history. Please look at that card. So here's what I want to say. I had to come on today to do this reading. Specifically, a lot of the work I do is connected because I'm a Magdalene Rose priestess, and I am putting this more into my channel. The content is going to be really evolving, so stay tuned. But right now on this planet, as many of you already know, the divine feminine is rising. It's so much more than, an image or the word priestess or things like that. It's a really literally a changing of the energy and going back to more of a balanced divine masculine, divine feminine balance within all throughout every part of our consciousness internally, around us in the world, the way structures work. We're having a toppling of the old ways of doing things, the patriarchy, the destruction of not paying attention to really the intuitive, the magical, the emotional, the spiritual, right? So, and then this is all coming through, and that's why a lot of people are remembering a lot of these past lives, and they're remembering things like that they might have been a priestess themselves, or maybe they worked at some capacity doing healing work. That's all coming up now. It is rising up, and there it is right there. The energetic realm, life between lives, we can actually tap into that and connect in with our guides and our higher self and gain knowledge and information. This can be done through meditation, guided journeys, journaling, things like that. But channeling in and bringing in these types of memories, information, guidance, you are accessing a part of who you are in your own soul's blueprint and remembering why you're here. And it's more about remembering. That is really coming through in this reading, and I knew that too. And Mary Magdalene is a big part of this whole thing. And so the way these goddesses work is that, they are a real consciousness. They're real entities. And so why they're emerging now is because it's now finally time for us to get back into this balance, to where we probably started off millennia ago, before many of the major religions sort of got more masculine dominated, as you might imagine. And many of the people who are coming back into it are priestesses who've done this type of work before. You probably find yourself in that. So that's what I see going on. That's amazing that we see that, right? And I love this because what we have is the Akashic Records, inspiration, mysteries, right? This is Archangel Raziel, who's very connected in, but also I love they have this in female form. Amazing. I mean, this is so validating. I have so much more to share with you. I will definitely reveal things over time, but I'm going to be doing a priestess program starting at the end of 2025. if that's something that speaks to you, stay tuned. This is also my card. I just cut the deck for the Akashic Records, the Star card. Okay. Hope, direction, inspiration. The main thing is for you is you being able to integrate your spiritual into your everyday life, being able to have you feeling not disconnected from your spiritual path, but having it be seeping in through all parts of your life. And that can be in a lot of different ways. It doesn't mean that you have to become necessarily a healer for your work, or be a reader, or be a medium, but you're integrating it and not being disconnecting from it. You're not pushing it aside. It's part of you, right? And you're claiming it. We also, again, we have the Divine Mother with the Empress coming out, right? And then building this 8 of Pentacles, we're bringing that into our lives. We are creating that. We are sustaining that. We're focused on that. We're integrating that into the physical world, right? And so the Hierophant, so many of you likely are going to probably, the Hierophant with the 2 of Cups, are going through some stages of or learning something, possibly a new skill that will be relevant to the next part of your journey. This could be learning to do something. This could be reflected in work, maybe having more freedom in what you do as far as your employment, and learning a new skill and being very diligent and working very hard towards this, which is super important. And so don't worry or think you need to be further ahead than you are, because you are learning this skill, this trade, this thing that's going to help you. It feels extremely important. And know that, don't just jump the line and think that it's not necessary, or it's not going to make a difference, or you're not going to be able to do it, because you are, if you're wrestling with that. I want to let you know that. So yeah, we have 2 of Pentacles. There's some worry here, it feels like, for some of you. There's some concern about possibly something to do with something you're decided on, that do you want to invest in something. So possibly this does feel like you're looking at doing maybe a training or some type of a course or developing, but you're wondering, is it worth it? Should I put my money towards it? Should I invest the time? And then it's causing you distress and anxiety. And I would say, yes, it is time. It's going to be a good departure from where you are. It's going to take you to the next step that you want to go to, and you're going to feel more in charge. You're going to feel more aligned. You're going to feel this sense of like a creative energy, but you've got to put the time in to learn the skill. Sometimes you just have to do that. Last year actually, I was thinking I really have to learn this one skill that would help me, in my business. It was something that isn't as glamorous and isn't as exciting, but it was very necessary. And I was like, oh, how long is that going to take me? And I started doing this thing in January, but it has been so worth it. So these things that you add, remember, think where you'll be a year from now if you do this thing. And it's preparing you. And that year, that 2 years, however long the thing is, the training, it's going to pay off. I'm hearing your guides say it is going to pay off. It's going to take you where you want to go. Allow yourself to go through it. Yeah, big changes going on. So we got a lot of major arcana coming out. The Tower card, the Lovers. So Tower card always reminds me of like everything getting wiped off the table. Imagine there's a whole table. It's filled with a buffet, or there's a whole maybe model of a whole city on a table, and someone just takes whatever is on there. Maybe it's on a tablecloth and pulls it from out, and it boom starts all over again. Looks like chaos, but you know what? It's starting again. And the Lovers card definitely is connected to things you love, things you care about. This could be a relationship. This could be something, a career-driven thing, something you are passionate about, but it's you needing to take the step, needing to make things change. Things are going to get uncomfortable so you can get to the next place you want to be. It's time. Invest, 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 invest. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, and then here, this is so beautiful. There's a lot of emotional energy coming on, relationship energy here. Connection, integrating, going with the flow. We have the Well card, and the Well really just represents divine spirit channeling through you, which often can be emotional, which can very much be this awakening energy of connection and intuition and things of that nature. but also the Knight of Cups, who's bravely coming and saying, I'm offering this new thing in this new direction in my life. I'm going to be putting myself somewhere. So creative endeavors is this what I'm seeing for you. It's a good time. Don't feel like, if you feel any energy of desperation or concern, it's really time to take a step back and think about where your hard work will pay off. So there's a little bit of overwhelm with trying to decide with a Seven of Cups. You know, someone once explained to me this so beautifully. When you have all the cups in front of you, when you're in the Seven of Cups and you're trying to decide which one's best, go to the one that has the heart in it. Go to the one that feels connected to you. Go to the one that makes you the most, gives you the feels you're looking for, because that's going to be the one that's going to pay off in the long run. Nine of Pentacles. That's going to be the one you can, all those pentacles, all those things that you've been investing in, building and putting together are going to be enriched. You'll be able to see the progress later because you care enough about it. That's really what I'm getting. Okay, they're telling me to choose 3 cards, and then I think we're going to go into Oracle. So we have 5 of Cups. So we're going to be having a departure, some changes going on, growth. So here's the thing. Sometimes change brings with it difficulties. It brings with it growing pains. Okay. And so that's really shown here for me. Okay. We have the 6 of Pentacles with the 5 of Cups. Usually there's a sense of, there's a grief of loss of like what you're leaving behind or what used to be or something from the past, okay, and in this position. And the 6 of Pentacles is all about giving to others, building something, helping them build something, but also making sure you get a return on your investment, right? Again, I keep feeling like this could be something that you're investing in, something where you are you know, putting your stakes down. You're going to be doing some kind of a training, some kind of a development. That's really what I'm getting. But again, you're coming up against your own limited ideas and thoughts. So it really makes you feel that sense of limitation. And what if this happens, if I do this, or things like that. That is the first thing that's going to really throw you off, is just getting stuck in the what ifs. So you want to trade the what ifs for the what could be's. That's what they're telling me. Trade the what ifs for the what could be. What if it worked out? What if I succeeded? What if I was happy? What if I made more money, right? Instead of what if it doesn't work out? Really important. Okay, we said something about Mary Magdalene in the beginning, so I want to channel a little bit of information from her. So let me tap in. I'll be talking about her more and more and more, so stay tuned. And then while you're going to be preparing this, be sure to, in the comments, let me know if this resonated for you. Make sure you're following me, liking and subscribing, and we're going to tap into Mary Magdalene's energy and see what she has to say. This is what she's saying. Your future is so bright, so endearing to watch you grow. But remember, you are the light. You have prepared for where you are now. You've laid down the stakes. You've done the dynamic work. You've changed your heart. You've opened up your center. And now it's time to fly free. But flying also takes trust, because sometimes we don't know where we're being guided to. Sometimes we don't know if we'll take off when we're supposed to. Sometimes we don't know what comes next or where the direction of the wind is blowing. And so it is a fragile space that you think that you don't have anywhere to go. But know that the fragile space you feel is when you earn trust and you really realize that the entire time Spirit had you, was holding you, and giving you all the direction and the guidance you need. Be well, my love. Take care of your child, your inner child, and know that you exist in a well of love. Take care. Okay, that's the message from Mary Magdalene. I want to thank you so much again for being here. I love this YouTube family and all of you that are my subscribers. I'm so grateful. We'll see you in the next video.